Let's analyze together the top 8 stocks of Berkshire Hathaway's portfolio.
Let's see what's going on and what happened with Warren Buffett's kind of portfolio. We could say 90% of it. Let's analyze these 8 amazing stocks. First of all, remember to read the disclaimer right here and also in the description below. Very interesting. We have all of them prepared with the percentage that they own, the number of shares, the percentage of the portfolio of Berkshire. Very interesting data. Let's talk about the technical analysis also from the past and the present. So keep tuned. Remember to subscribe. Thank you very much. Trading HD. New video. We hope you enjoy this kind of format. Let us know in the comments. Let's get started with the first one.
Okay, so the first one is Moody's. We're talking about 2% of the portfolio of Berkshire. So the thing here is like, it's surprising, because it's only 2%. But we're talking about 600, almost 600% of performance. Here you can see the average price buy. We're talking about $57 at that time. Obviously they didn't buy this stock on this day, but actually over the previous years, they've been accumulating even in the next years. This is just the average, which is insane. It's just the average, but it's 600%.
Exactly, we're talking about the price of $400 right now, more or less, for this stock. MCO is the ticker. And very interesting, this uptrend is completely vertical. We can clearly see with this kind of trend line. Wow, what a trade right there. Those who bought around $10, an amazing upside movement. And that average price isn't bad at all. Let's continue with the next one.
Yeah, the next one is Keynes.
Yeah, this is not as good.
I confused the words, but the thing, this is like a very known episode of Warren Buffett. One of the biggest mistakes ever made by him. He's been like accumulating incredible losses. He started, you can see the average price right here, 77. He will never recover from this.
It's very interesting to notice how the price started to drop, and it was very dramatic. We could say, like, if this was the Heinz bottle of ketchup, you had the ketchup right there going down. But I'm sure there were memes about this. So very interesting to see how this happened, and also to learn from this experience, because you think, okay, Warren Buffett never fails, or this type of investors don't make mistakes. They do. The different thing from other traders or inexperienced one is like they know how to manage risk, and they know how to properly execute trades even when they are losing, So in this case, they had that loss, but in the long-term territory of this fund and Warren Buffett's trading story, we could, or investing per se, we could say like he did well. So this one is a lesson that he learned, and for sure we can learn also from that.
Yeah, look at that, Enrique. Look at the net income of 2018. We're talking about like a minus 10 billion, and the previous year was like 10 billion positive. So the incredible difference in net income is like, obviously you see the stock going down, and it's because of that. Because you all know what happened with this stock. So you never know what's gonna happen when you enter into a stock. You don't know how they are managing the company. So maybe you get the real information and you get surprised. And the thing is like, okay, Warren Buffett, he got a surprise because of this. But all the volume he entered, all the purchase that he made is like, in terms of size, it's not the same that you do. It's like it's measured in billions. And here you can see the stocks. We're talking about 325 million shares right now. And the portfolio was like, I'm pretty sure it was bigger at that time. So you had to think about that.
Okay, so this one is the 3% of the Berkshire portfolio. Let's see the next one. We have Occidental Petroleum Corporation. This is the 4% more or less. And they own 28%, which is not a low amount. And 248 million shares owned in this company. Very interesting,
Yeah, it's one of the lastest purchases made by Berkshire Hathaway.
Yeah, I think it's very interesting to see this stock, like the completely dramatic drop that we experienced in 2018, 2019. Let's see, from this price, 90%, to the lower side.
Wow.
And the average price is $50 more or less, so far away from that moment. But I think that was like due to the oil prices, something like that related for sure. But wow, what a dramatic drop right there.
Yeah,
Very volatile.
and again, we go to the net income, and you see the same. It's completely correlated when a stock is crashing like that. You know, like a minus 90%. You check the net income, and it's insane. You know, in the worst moment, we're talking about like a minus $8 billion. So completely correlated. And you know, when Warren Buffett and the colleagues study the company, obviously they didn't make the purchase at the time, but right now it's a completely different story. Even you know the net income is not so good as before in March 2020 in 2022. It's still positive.
Yeah, it's a very it was a very good buy at those prices of $9. And you know, there was also risk involved. But for sure, if you take a look at the technical analysis, you can also see like this was a clear level of accumulation during the past. We can clearly see it right there. From there, we had this amazing upside movement, and you don't expect to see this kind of corrections. You know, when you see a stock skyrocketing like this, you never tend to believe like you could buy at prices of 1970s or
Wow.
something like that. You know, completely crazy. So those who
Completely
bought at this
crazy.
level, if any of you did, let us know in the comments. But what a trade! Oh my god.
Yeah, we're talking about like a 600%. Wow, it is absolutely nuts. Let's go to Chevron, similar sector, also 22%, you know, similar performance and a net income, almost correlated as well in comparison to Oxy, right?
Yeah, you can see also that correlation right there. Sometimes it isn't perfect, of course. Nothing works always, but in this case, we can clearly see like the trade was also good. The average buy 132, current price 164. So let's see if this continues going higher because we have an uptrend also in this stock. Not as clear as in the in Moody's one,
Mm-hmm.
but in this case, I think it's at least positive for this last year. So let's see how it continues. They own 7% of it, 126 million shares, and it is 5% of their portfolio.
Let's go to the fourth one. We're talking about a very classic Coca-Cola.
Yeah. Yeah, this one is very, very classic, as you mentioned. You can see it has been trading since a long time ago, and you know it's beautiful to have this type of data. I love to see stocks trading during these years. You know, before the 1990 or 1980, even 1960, we have data right there in the 1960s. Very interesting, and you can see with the logarithmic scale. Uh, this chart is completely different. You know, if
Wow.
you put the yeah, it's like a rocket. And in this case, wow, Coca-Cola had a kind of crash, you know, in 2000 more or less 1999, but it's a very bullish stock if you take a look at the long-term perspective.
Yeah, I remember, guys, what happened in the dot-com bubble. This is like a minus 60, but tech stocks like
Mm.
they felt like I don't know, they went down like minus 80, minus 90%.
Yeah, and many of them disappeared. So
You know, many of them disappear, so that's normal. The thing is, like right now, investors they think about Coca-Cola as a company that can endure market crisis, and it's true. You know, like when people don't have money, it's like Coca-Cola is just a basic thing. You know.
I would say I don't drink Coca-Cola, but those who do, maybe buying at least half of the money in Coca-Cola in a stock, at least for these last decades, would have been a very good trade. You know?
They will get Coca-Cola for free for decades as well.
Yeah, exactly.
With
Very
those
interesting. You
profits.
know. So the average price is $40 right now. Coca-Cola 63. Let's see how it develops also during these next years. Let's continue with the third one. Let's start the podium of the third.
Yeah, top three, American Express company. I love that company. Actually, I have an American Express Gold, and I gotta tell you, you know, it's like if you have this stock, look at that. Yeah, if you bought the stock, for instance, in 2009, which is a little bit far away, and we're talking about like more than 2,000%. Another classic stock with incredible performance over the long term.
Yeah, exactly. A very good uptrend also, taking into account that crash of 2007. You know, it happened to a lot of companies, but in the long term, this has also very positive price action to the upside. Right now, wow, look at that. One, two, three, yeah, 7 consecutive monthly candlesticks to the upside. This is completely insane, you know. They own 20%, 21% of this company, 151 million shares, and this is 8% of their portfolio with an average price of $70, 234% to the upside from there.
8%, we are talking about something important, but you will be surprised about the next two. Let's go
Yeah.
to Bank of America.
Yeah, this one, wow, completely insane. The crash that also happened during 2007, very
Wow.
similar to, yeah, very similar to American Express one. And in this case, they don't have the same results, 45% from the average price. Not bad, but it's not as good as the previous one. But they own more, 10% of the Berkshire portfolio is Bank of America Corporation shares, 1 billion of shares owned, and they own 13% of it.
Yeah, remember guys, with this analysis, we didn't take into account the last sell, and we're going to the top one to talk about that, which is Apple. So they recently sold, Berkshire Hathaway, they recently sold 13% of the stocks that they held, and this is the information that it was previously, uploaded at the end of 2023.
Yeah, exactly. Maybe the data is not updated to the current date. If you have different data, let us know in the comments below. The idea is to share this general information and to see this type of format. I think it's very interesting to see where is the capital of this type of funds or big capital investing. And at the end of the day, you have to think like they can't do the same things like retail traders do or lower capitals do, because in this type of situations, when you invest billions of dollars, you will move the market for sure. So you have to be very picky about what you buy. And in this case, Apple average price, wow, completely good, $40 right now, 184. So very interesting also this trade, 357%.
Yeah, exactly. Imagine that you sell at the market 5% of Apple. I can tell you guys, like a sell like that, it could make it could drive the price down to, I don't know, minus 40% because of the panic. So it's something that you need to have into consideration when you make such a large purchase.
Yeah, and in this type of chart, I wanted to mention also, if you take a look at 1980, 1990s, you could see right here, it was trading kind of on a channel right there, parallel channel. And once the price broke out of it and made this kind of retest, wow, from there went completely vertical. It's insane, the Apple performance from there.
Yeah, I think around the 80s and 2008, I would say that was like the worst moment for Apple. At the first upturn, serious upturn, because the company was changing for good. It's like in July 2003. It's like when they started to release the iPods and to release better Mac computers. And then the second key moment, I would say, is like the when the iPhone was released, in 2009, and you can clearly see what the result of that, the incredible rally.
Yeah, exactly. If you take a look at the market cap, and you may remember they hit $3 trillion 2021. Right now, it's more or less the same price. Very interesting. This market cap isn't a joke. So owning 5% of Apple, it's like owning 100% of a lot of companies, big companies.
And look at that. I think we're gonna sum up the video with something that you need to consider about the philosophy of Warren Buffett, which I agree. It's like with the patience, being patient, picking the right stocks at the right moment. Right now, he has like 200 billion in cash. It's like you don't have 200 billion in cash if you don't expect like a huge market crash in order to buy afterwards.
It's very interesting, the Warren Buffett's philosophy. You can learn a lot of things from him. I know many modern investors would say, or modern traders that follow him, even that he has been trading for a lot of time. And, some people say like the old strategies don't work today. But, in the long term, the best that we have is the back testing of the past, and he did very well, and a lot of investors following type of strategies like him, that type of value investing, having that patience, going for the long term. It's a very good strategy if you have that skills, and when you have that amount of capital, I don't think there is another way. You can't intraday trade that amount, or you can't swing trade it. You can do something with it, but if you move that types of amount of capital, you have to go for the long term, in my opinion, and have a lot of patience.
Exactly. So thank you very much for watching this video, guys. Remember to subscribe to TradingSB and bye bye.
TradingST also.
TradingST.
Thank you very much. Have a nice weekend. We will upload maybe 2 more videos tomorrow. If you enjoyed this special one, let us know in the comments. We really appreciate it. Have fun. Good luck. We love you.